softly, man, but the penny's heavy on me. I know I will see you again when my Jesus come, when God's trumpet says that. All right, so this is what it sounds like after the whole full mix and the master. Fly with Jesus' wings, fly yourselfly, mommy, but the penny's heavy on me. I know I will see you again, oh, when my Jesus will come, when God's trumpet says that. Fly with Jesus' wings, oh, fly yourselfly, mommy, but the penny's heavy on me. I know I will see you again, oh, when my Jesus will come, when God's trumpet says that. Holy, holy, the sense is going, the sense is going. Holy, holy, the sense is going, the sense is going. Keep on flying, keep on flying. Yo, what's up, guys? Vicky Melody here once again, and welcome back to our channel. It's, Playboy Sound Lamba. You understand? It's been a while. I've been so occupied with a lot of projects, mixes, beats, production generally, like EPs, albums. So a lot of people have been messaging me, when are you doing the next tutorial? So there's been no chance actually, but I just decided to do this one because I actually liked the song and I felt it would be necessary for us on the channel to see the process of how I mix this particular project. So without wasting the time, let's just head straight to the system. It might be a little bit long or short, I don't know, but because I wouldn't want to skip any process. I want to show you guys know how I do. I like to show everything as it is. Okay, so let's head straight to the system. No time. Okay, here, so on the screen you see I like to color my project, so I would see, like, even without looking at it, I know where my lead vocal is, where my backups, where my ad libs are. So most of the time I like blue for my lead vocal. You can choose a particular color for yourself, it doesn't really matter. It's just for, it helps me work faster. Even when I'm on, where is my mixer? My mixer is on the other screen. Even when I'm on the mixer, so just even without naming it, once I look at blue, I know that I'm going to be working on the blue on the lead vocal. Even my lead group is also blue, like everything is colored. It helps me work faster, you understand? So let me take this guy off for a while. Yes, and having a double screen most times makes your work faster, because instead of bringing up mixer, everything is just there on different screens for you to work on. So this is my lead vocal. I had my lead vocal there. Then I had my ad libs, like the small backup candy stuff down there. Then if I want to do like a crowd voice, which I actually suggested on the project when he was recording, I told him, because you as the producer, you are the guide to the artist, and if you're an artist, always listen to your producer, because the producer knows better sound more than you do. You might not agree, but our biggest artists always listen to the producer, because the producer listens to sound every day of his life, and he can make better decisions. I'm not saying that the artist doesn't know sound, yeah, don't get me wrong, but most of the times the sound, not the lyrics, the sound is from the producer. So I suggested he should do a crowd voice here, which made the song come out. We'll get to that later. And some other I call it delay reverb throw. It's not part, he didn't record it, I recorded it myself from his own vocal, but we'll also get there. So I'm talking too much. On the lead track, this is the lead track. Then if I had multiple takes of the lead, everything on the lead I sent to the lead group. So the only thing that is on my lead here, the only thing on my lead here is the auto tune, which I actually put auto tune on almost all the tracks that are needed. You get me? So That was the only thing there. I had auto tune on the insert. Then I sent it to here. So the first thing I did on the lead vocal, I used a CLA2 76. The reason I use this particular compressor is for peak control, not for the full compression, just for peak control. We also have our mixing preset. If you need it, you can also just message us anywhere and get it. So what I was doing was fly with Jesus wings, fly yourselfly, man. But the penny's heavy on me. Barely like 1 dB of gain reduction just to catch the peak. You get, and I was doing a very fast attack and fast release so that once the peak comes, it hits it off and leaves the whole stuff alone. It's not killing the dynamics, just reducing the peak. Fly with Jesus wings, fly yourself, say you again. When say you again. That place he said, see you again. Say you again. So it's more like trying to level the track. You get me? So after the CLA 76, what I added next was the CLA 2A for a more gluey compression. Yes, this compressor works good on vocals. It does the magic and it's very easy to use. Just your peak reduction and your gain. You get me? So I use that one to fly with Jesus wings. Fly yourself, mommy. But the penny's heavy on me. So I was going for more like a more heavier compression, not like too crushed, but like between 3 to -3 to -5, just that range. You get. And at the end, you have to also check your inputs. Fly with Jesus wings. Fly yourself. And also try to make sure it's balanced with your output. Fly with Jesus. But I actually liked it to go above -12 because I wanted that volume, because I record very quiet, which is also a tip. Record very quiet. Don't increase your sound card volume to just record quiet. You can boost volumes in the system. It helps you record less noise and avoids digital clipping. You get. So fly with Jesus wings. So after doing that, the next thing I brought in was an EQ. I like throwing an EQ sometimes before the compressor, but anytime a compressor comes, I will also put an EQ under it. You get me? Fly with Jesus. So I was cutting off. If you look closely, you see that there were some low rumbles at this place, which I had to cut off with the low cuts around like 146. Then I was also taking down the 509 because it was sounding. You see that? So I also boosted a little bit of the 1K, 2K region. Fly with Jesus wings, fly yourself, mommy. But then took down. Sometimes when I boost stuff here, I usually cut on the both sides. You get, because sometimes when you boost some of the frequencies that are not helpful will also get boosted along. So I usually do a cut after boosting. You get me? So I cut down like the 2.4K. It was more whistly. So I also gave you like a high shelf from the 10K, which is where most of the crisp and the shine of a vocal is. Flyers. So after doing that, guy, I brought in one of my most powerful. I call it like, for vocal, this guy is just what I use all the time. It's just there. It just helps glue your vocal and puts it in the face. Like, your beat can never overshine your vocal with this. And why I love this guy is when I do the compression, I will bring it on so you hear what it sounds like before. Fly with Jesus wings, fly yourself, mommy, but the penny's heavy on me. I know I will see you again. See, when I kick it in, like, it became not louder. It became louder, yes, but it was more up in your front. And also, why I like this guy is the gate. Also, the gate here. When you notice where your vocal input is coming from, I could just Sometimes what I would do is, let me make this bigger so you understand what I'm trying to explain. You see these empty spaces where there's nothing happening. Sometimes how I set my gate is I might just slice here, you get, and play whatever that is there and know where the highest volume of that noise room is. So I set my gate above it. So anytime the vocal is not speaking, it closes anything that happens there. It might be a generator sound outside or something inside the room that, or the white noise, anything. So I use my gate. You see, whenever nothing is happening, the gate blocks. But when a vocal is saying something, it opens for the vocal. I know I will see you again. I love this particular gate. Above other gates, it's how transparent and intelligent it is. So yeah, that particular plugin is it for me. It's from Waves, the Arrowvox. You get. So the next thing I did after adding that, but one thing about that particular compressor, it has a lot of color. It has color. It introduces both low frequencies and some other frequencies in the sound, which I also have to like cut off when especially the low, because I know I will see you. I look at the amount of lows it's bringing in, even when I've done the cut before the compressor. So it introduces, that's one thing about the compressor, it adds color to the sound. So I had to do some of the cuts again according to what he added to the vocal that wasn't pleasing to me. After cutting that, I did a lot of, I cut down here. Fly with me. Ooh, kind of boxy. I also cut down this guy, that whistle area. I cut down here, another whistle, then here, more like a higher whistle. But then I also did dynamic EQ, not like a static EQ, because this particular frequency wasn't disturbing me all the time. It was just randomly. So I had to use dynamic so that anytime it comes, it cuts it down. But anytime it's not disturbing, it leaves it alone, this particular frequency. So it's not consistent. It comes and goes. That was why I use that. So after doing that guy, I brought in my DSR. This is actually my favorite DSR because of how DSing is DS. Yes, it's just any DSR works, but I just like this one. But the thing about um, when you see plugins that introduce a little bit of latency, a little bit, you know that that plugin is actually quality. That's the way I judge it. Because now let me show you on my mix. I usually on this latency meter here, so I will see what the plugin I added, the amount of latency is adding to my track, so I can know when. If your plugin introduces a lot of latency, it means delay before the signal is heard. A lot of latency might make your vocal sound off timing from the beat, so that's why I have this. So you see that the auto tune introduces just 2.5 milliseconds of if I put it off now, you see the latency is gone. It's coming from the auto tune there. So this DSR, why I was saying that is this DSR has like a 1.5 milliseconds of latency. The former DSR I was using has zero latency. But the reason I chose this is because when there is more latency, it means there is more computing power inside that plugin and it gives a better result. See this particular guy here, look at the lead channel. You see some accumulations of plugins has given me 4.4 milliseconds, which is actually small. It doesn't matter. If I put it off, you see that the latency reduces to 2 point. So it's adding like 1.5 milliseconds of latency. But anything above 5 milliseconds, I actually don't like it. So that's why I have my latency meter on here to watch. You get. Then I've been talking a lot, man. After doing that, fly with Jesus wings, fly on safely, mommy. But the penny's heavy on me. You see when he says the S's, he brings it down. Yeah, just work on your threshold. And I brought in my fresh air. It adds fresh air to the sound, just the mid air and the high air, just to give it that shine. Fly with Jesus' wings, oh, fly on safely, mommy. But the penny's heavy on me. But you have to be careful so you don't introduce a lot of S's again, like fly with Jesus' wings, oh, fly on safely, mommy. But the penny's heavy on me. So I was just putting like 5%. Also the mid 7%. Fly with Jesus' wings, oh, fly on safely, mommy. Yeah, but most of the sound, the way it's sounding here, if I upload it on YouTube, sometimes the quality is being reduced. So some of the sound you're hearing from YouTube is definitely like a more compressed and reduced quality so that you can watch. But it doesn't sound 100% like the way it sounds out of the studio. You get. Then after that, what else did I add? I didn't add anything on this EQ. Did I add? No, these EQs were just blank. This guy also was not used, but sometimes I just place them there just in case I want to use them if the sound requires me to use them in a project, like the multi-band compression, which I didn't use yet. So after doing that, I did a send of to my delay and my reverb. This is the delay I was using. You guys already know the hedge delay from Waves, and I was using like a quarter notes of delay, also cutting off some of the low